Tracy,
Good
we've just
morning.
gone live. Good
Oh,
morning, welcome to Think and Grow Rich Daily Hangout. It's Tuesday morning. Not quite sure why I'm saying that. This is a group where we meet to read from Napoleon Hill, either his book actually, or reading his lecture notes at the moment, to help unprogram from scarcity consciousness. So, hi Glenn as well.
Good morning.
How are you both doing?
great.
Doing
Excellent.
good.
As soon as I came on, I was struck by the colors, Sandy. Your shirt and everything in the background, you're just screaming summer.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
And here we have Geraldine rubbing it into all of us.
yeah.
Look at her.
coming
It's
to
No,
like
us live from the beach.
a scene from the Blue Lagoon.
I
yeah.
love that. How are you getting internet on the beach, Geraldine?
We just have like a mobile internet signal, so we just bring it down from our home.
Oh, that's very clever. Ah. And how are you, Glenn?
Doing fine. Hey, today's song, Tracy,
Yeah,
is Accentuate the Positive by
yeah.
Oh
Johnny
yeah.
Mercer.
Johnny Mercer, I think. I suppose Sinatra probably did a version too.
Yeah.
Everybody
yeah,
did, but yeah, Johnny Mercer, yeah.
yeah,
Sing a little for us, Glenn.
yeah. Well, we gotta accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative,
Eliminate the negative.
latch on to the affirmative.
I don't know the next line.
Yeah. I'll find a link to that and maybe put it up. You know.
Cool.
Cool.
Oh, and Sandy, I know we're about to get started, but I posted a link, but you have to approve it.
Oh, okay. I
It
haven't
says
gone in there
I
yet.
have two posts pending approval. One from a
Okay.
few days ago. It was just a Napoleon Hill quote, but you're
Ah.
so busy. You've been so busy lately. I'm
Yeah,
surprised surprised your head is still attached.
I know. Oh, and I will just warn you, there's a plane going overhead. So, just,
They're watching you.
yeah.
The black helicopters.
Yeah. Does anybody want to read?
I would be happy to read again if no one minds.
Oh, that'd be great.
Okay. And I think I know where I stopped.
Yeah, we're on page 7 of the
Okay.
lecture notes, and we were at near the bottom. It was hang
Something
on.
about.
Oh, we're getting to a really good part, by the way. I just saw. So
Hold on a second. Mini note.
yeah. Okay, we're on definiteness purpose on
Sorry,
page 7.
I have an elderly cat that likes to pee on my things, so only on
Oh.
my things. I don't know why.
Sandy, are you in Toulouse now?
Yes.
Are you? Toulouse.
Yeah, for about a week here now. So just out in the garden. The Wi-Fi works. Great.
It looks lovely.
Yeah. Yeah, Chica's rolling around in the grass as I speak.
Happy.
Um,
Grass must be a nice change for. Oh no, there was grass in Mons.
Yeah, but I'm just happy that he can roll around in it wherever we go. Managed to find gardens. Okay, so do you
Okay.
have it?
Yeah, I have page 7. Oh yeah, I have to share it.
And it's about halfway through the page. Definiteness of purpose.
Okay. I'm getting one of those spinning beach balls of doom from Mac. There we
Oh.
go. Everything's good. All right. The definiteness of purpose automatically develops self-reliance, personal initiative, imagination, enthusiasm, self-discipline, and concentration of effort, all of these being prerequisites for success of vital importance. Know what you want, have a plan to get it, and have your mind occupy it mostly with the carrying out of that plan. Some plans won't work. When you find out that your plan is not right, discard it immediately and get another one. Keep on until you find one that will work. In the process of doing this, just remember one thing that may be somewhere along the line, that infinite intelligence, being gifted with a great deal of wisdom, might have a plan for you better than the one you had yourself. Have an open mind. If you adopt a plan to carry out your major purpose or minor purpose and it doesn't work well, dismiss that plan. Ask for guidance from infinite intelligence. In order to get that guidance, you have to believe that you can get it. It won't hurt to say it out loud orally that you believe it. Napoleon suspects that the Creator knows your thoughts, but he found that if you express yourself with a lot of enthusiasm, it doesn't hurt any. It doesn't hurt to arouse your subconscious mind. When Napoleon wrote Think and Grow Rich, the original title of it was The 13 Steps to Riches. Both the publisher and Napoleon knew that was not a box office title they had to have $1 million title. The publisher kept prodding him every day to give him the title that he wanted, and Napoleon wrote 500 or 600 titles. Not any of them were any good. One day he scared the dickens out of Napoleon. He called up and said, "Well, tomorrow morning I've got to have that title, and if you don't have one, I have one that's a humdinger." Napoleon said, "What is it?" And the publisher said, "We're going to call it Use Your Noodle and Get the Boodle." Napoleon said, "My goodness, you'll ruin me. This is a dignified book." The publisher said, "Whether it will or not, that's the title unless you give me a better one by tomorrow morning." Napoleon wants you to follow this incident because it's potent with food for thought. Napoleon sat down on his bed and had a talk with his subconscious. He said, "Now look here, old sub. You and I have gone a long way together, and you've done a lot of things for me, and some things to me, thanks to my ignorance. But I've got to have $1 million title, and I've got to have it by tonight. Do you understand that?" Napoleon talked so loudly that the man in the apartment above him thumped on the floor. He didn't blame him, though, because he probably thought that Napoleon was quarreling with his wife or something. Napoleon really gave his subconscious mind no doubt as to what he wanted. He told his sub, "It's got to be $1 million title." Napoleon went to bed when he had charred his subconscious mind until he reached that psychological moment where he knew it was going to produce what he wanted. If he hadn't have gotten to that point, he would have been up there still sitting on the side of that bed talking to his subconscious. There is a psychological moment, and you can feel it when the power of faith takes over whatever you're trying to do and says, "All right, you can relax. This is it." Napoleon went to bed, and at about 2 o'clock in the morning, he woke up as if somebody had shaken him real hard. As he came out of his sleep, Think and Grow Rich was in his mind. He jumped up to his typewriter, wrote it down, and got the telephone and called his publisher. He said, "What's the matter?" It was 2:30 a.m. by this time. Napoleon said, "I have $1 million title." The publisher said, "Let's have it." Napoleon said, "Think and Grow Rich." The publisher said, "Boy, you've got it." As of 1954, that book has grossed outside of the U.S. over 23 million and will probably gross over 100 million before Napoleon passed on. There's no end to it. That was a multi-million-dollar title. After the thrashing that Napoleon gave his subconscious, he's not surprised that it came over and did a good job. Why didn't Napoleon use that method in the first place? Why did he fool around about it? For the same reason why you know what to do but won't do it. There's no explaining the indifference of mankind toward himself. Even after you know what the score is, you fool around until the last minute before you do anything about it. Just like in prayer, fool around about prayer until the time a need comes. Then you're scared to death, and of course you don't get any results from prayer. If you want to have results from prayer, you condition your mind so that your life is a prayer. Day in and day out, every minute of your life, a constant prayer, because it's based upon belief. Belief in your dignity and your right. Attune into infinite intelligence to have the things that you need in this world. And so it is with this human mind. You've got to condition the mind as you go along from day to day, so when any emergency arrives, you'll be right there with it to deal with it. Also, the definiteness of purpose and uses One to budget, hmm, budget one's time and to plan day-to-day endeavors which lead to the attainment of one's major purpose. If you would sit down and put an hour-by-hour account of the actual work that you put in for each day for 1 week, and then an hour-by-hour account of the time that you waste that you could devote to anything you want if you wanted to badly enough, you're going to get one of the shocks of your life. We're not efficient. You all have about 8 hours to sleep, about 8 hours to earn a living, and have 8 hours of free time that you can do anything you want to with here in this country where we live. Definiteness of purpose makes one more alert in recognizing opportunities related to the object of one's major purpose. It inspires the courage to embrace and act upon those opportunities. We all see opportunities almost every day of our lives, which if we embrace them and acted upon them, it could benefit us. There's something in us that we call procrastination. We just don't have the will, the alertness, the determination to embrace opportunities when they come along. If you condition your mind with this philosophy, you'll not only embrace opportunities, but you'll do something better. What could you do better than embrace an opportunity? Make the opportunity. That's the idea. One of Napoleon's generals, the other Napoleon, came to him one day and they were fixing to attack the next morning. The general said, "Sir, these circumstances are not just quite right for the attack tomorrow." Napoleon said, "Circumstances? Well, hell, I make circumstances. Attack." Napoleon Hill has never seen a successful man yet in any business that didn't say when somebody says, "It can't be done," said, "Attack." Start where you are, and when you get around to that curve in the road, you'll know you can't see by it until you get there. You'll always find that the road goes on around. Attack. Don't procrastinate. Don't stand still. Attack. Definiteness of purpose inspires confidence in one's integrity and character. It attracts favorable attention of other people. Have you ever thought about that? The whole world would love to see a person walking with his chest sticking out, walking with an atmosphere that tells the whole doggone world that he knows what he's doing and he's right on the way of doing it. People will walk out of the way on the sidewalk and let you go by if you are determined to get by. And if you don't have to whistle at them either, or holler at them, or anything of that kind. You just have to send your thoughts ahead with the determination that you're going through that crowd. And believe me, they'll stand aside and let you go through. And the world's like that. The man who knows where he's going, the person who knows where they're going, and is determined to get there, will always find willing helpers to cooperate with them. Now, there's another very important thing. The greatest of all benefits, that is, the definiteness of purpose, it opens the way for the full exercise of that state of mind known as faith. By making the mind positive and freeing the mind from the limitations of fear, doubt, discouragement, indecision, and procrastination. The very minute that you decide upon something, you know what you want. You know that you're going to do it. All of these negatives that have been bothering you, they pick up their baggage and get out. They just move out. They can't live with a positive mind. Can you imagine a negative frame of mind and a positive frame of mind occupying the same space at the same time? Can you imagine that? No, you can't, because it can't be done. Did you know that the slightest bit of a negative mental attitude is sufficient to destroy the power of prayer? Did you know that the slightest bit of a negative mental attitude is sufficient to destroy your plan, whatever it is that you're doing? Carrying out your definiteness of purpose. You have to move with courage, faith, and determination in connection with carrying out your definiteness of purpose. Definiteness of purpose makes one success conscious. In other words, your thoughts are predominantly about success. They can the yes can do part of life, not the no can do. Did you know that the 98% of people who never get anywhere in life are no-can-do people? Any circumstance that you place before them or is placed before them, immediately they fasten their attention on the no-can-do part, the negative part. Napoleon will never forget what happened to him when Mr. Carnegie surprised him and gave him a chance to organize this philosophy. Napoleon tried to give him all the reasons in the world, and he had about 6. 6 reasons why Napoleon couldn't do it. 1. He didn't have the sufficient education. 2. He didn't have the money. 3. He didn't have the influence. 4. He didn't know what the word philosophy meant. And there were 2 others that immediately popped into Napoleon's mind, and he was trying to get his mouth open to tell Mr. Carnegie that he thanked him for the compliment he paid Napoleon. But what was going on in Napoleon's mind was he was doubting that Mr. Carnegie was such a good judge of human nature as he had reported to be when he was picking Napoleon to do a job like that. That is what went on in Napoleon's mind. But there was a silent person standing, looking over Napoleon's shoulder, and he said, "Go ahead and tell him you can do it. Spit it out." Napoleon said, "Yes, Mr. Carnegie, I'll accept the commission, and you can depend upon, sir, that I will complete it." He reached over and grabbed Napoleon's hand and said, "I not only like what you said, but I like the way you said it. That's what I was waiting for." He saw that Napoleon's mind was on fire with belief that he could do it, even though Napoleon didn't have the slightest asset to give him a beginning other than his determination that he would get the assets necessary to create this philosophy. If Napoleon had wavered in the slightest, if he had said to Mr. Carnegie, "Well, yes, Mr. Carnegie, I'll do my best," Napoleon is sure, he never asked him, that Mr. Carnegie would have taken that opportunity away from him instantly because it would have indicated that he wasn't to do it. Mr. Carnegie found something in the human mind, in Napoleon's mind, that he had been searching for years. He found it. Napoleon didn't know its value, but he found out the value of it later. You have that same capacity in your mind to know what you want and to be determined that you get it even though you don't know where to make the first start. What makes a great man or a great woman? Should we stop there? About greatness? Or keep going?
Uh, uh, Maybe a little bit more.
Sure. Now, how did that get smaller? Oh, here we go. Greatness is the ability to recognize the power of your own mind, to embrace it and use it. That's what makes greatness. Every man and every woman can become truly great by the simple process of recognizing his or her own mind, embracing it, and using it. Here are the instructions for applying the principle of a definite major purpose. First, write out a clear statement of your major purpose, sign it, commit it to memory, and repeat it orally at least once a day in the form of a prayer or an affirmation if you choose. You can see the advantage of this because it places your faith in your Creator squarely back of you. Here is the weakest spot in students' activities. They read this, they say, "What's the use of writing it out?" You might just as well not have this lesson if you're going to take that attitude to it. You must write it out, and you must go through the physical act of translating a thought onto paper, and then you must memorize it. Then you must start talking to your subconscious mind about it. Give that subconscious mind a pretty good idea of what it is you want. It won't hurt any if you remember the $1 million book title story. It won't do a bit of harm if you give your subconscious mind. It won't do a bit of harm if you get your subconscious mind to understand from here on out that you're the boss and that you're going to do something about it. You can't expect the subconscious mind or anything else to help you if you don't know what it is you want, if you're not definite about it. 98 out of every 100 people, taking a cross-section of humanity in general, do not know what they want in life and consequently never get it. They take whatever life hands them. In addition to your definite major purpose, you can have minor purposes. They lead you in the direction of your major purpose, provided they are related to or lead you to the direction of your major purpose. Your whole life should be devoted to carrying out your major purpose in life. Find out what it is you want, and incidentally, it's all right to be modest. Reach out and ask for a bounty. Ask for the things that you are sure you're entitled to, but in asking, be sure that you don't overlook the subsequent instructions that I'm going to give you about what it is you're going to give in return for what you expect. Second, write out a clear, definite outline of the plan or plans by which you intend to achieve the objective or purpose. State the maximum amount of time within which you intend to attain it. Describe it in detail precisely what you intend to give in return for the realization of the object of your purpose. Make your plan flexible enough to permit changes anytime you're inspired to do so, remembering that infinite intelligence may present you with a better plan than yours, and oftentimes will if you are definite about what you want. Do you know what a hunch is? It's your subconscious mind trying to get an idea over to you, and oftentimes you're too indifferent to even let the subconscious mind talk to you for a few moments. Napoleon has heard people say, "I had the darndest fool idea today." But that darn fool idea might have been $1 million idea if you would have listened to it and done something about it. Have great respect for these hunches that come to you because there's something outside of yourself trying to communicate with you. Napoleon has a great respect for the hunches that come to him. They come to him constantly. Napoleon finds them always related to something that his mind has been dwelling upon, something that he wanted to do, something that he is engaged in. Write out a clear, definite outline of the plan or plans and state in maximum time within which you intend to attain it. That timing is very important. Whatever it is that you consider to be your major objective in life, write it out clearly and time it. I intend to attain within blank number of years so-and-so, and then describe so-and-so, whatever it is. Then in the next paragraph below, I intend to give in return for the things I request so-and-so, and then describe it. Nature has a system of timing everything. If you go out, if you're a farmer, you want to plant some wheat in the field. You go out and you prepare that ground. You sow the wheat at the right season of the year, and then after you sow it, you go back the next day with a harvester and start harvesting. Very next day. What do you wait for? For nature to do her part. Infinite intelligence, or God, whatever you want, it's all the same thing. But there is an intelligence that does its part if you do your part first. Intelligence is not going to direct you to or attract to you the object of your major purpose unless you know what it is and unless you properly time it. It would be quite ridiculous if you started out with only a mediocre talent and said that you're going to make $1 million within the next 30 days. It'd be quite ridiculous. In other words, make your major purpose within reason.
Let's stop there, Tracy.
Okay.
Cool. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
It's fun to read this. A bit different.
Yeah, this
from the book.
The transcribing. I think it might have been automatically done, like machine done.
Yeah.
Because there's a few things where I'm like, what?
Yeah, it's okay though. We can understand the gist of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody want to share anything based on it?
I really like
About a lot of things.
I really liked when you were saying that, it's like you become like your life becomes a prayer, so it's like
Yeah.
you start to live it, you become that definite purpose, and then you start to live it. I think that really struck me to actually have a commitment to do that, because I myself, if I'm practicing something, when I actually live it, it's you feel like there's a new energy comes in when you actually begin to live it,
Yeah.
So I think that really struck me, commitment. Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead, Glenn.
Yeah, I think that knowing what you really want, right, and then really identifying it, and then, like you said, beginning the plan, right, building, detailing how you're going to get there, and then being flexible enough to know that sometimes that plan isn't going to work out exactly the way you want, but you're moving forward, right,
I think that point where the plan stops working out is when so many people think, oh, you know what, I followed the advice and it just doesn't work, and then they quit instead of just making a few shifts.
Exactly.
Like the thing about the airplane being on the wrong course 99% of the time. You just got to keep minor corrections. The other thing I noticed that struck me was when he was talking about how he was giving 6 excuse Carnegie, and then right along the line, he just stopped, and there was the voice that said, "Just tell him you can do it. Then you'll figure out how to do it." And
Yeah.
that was that struck me because I posted something on Facebook the other day, or I shared something a quote of Richard Branson that said, "When you're offered a great opportunity, even if you don't know how you can do it, just say yes, and then figure out how the hell you're gonna do it."
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how he got his island. There's I don't know if you guys know the story of how he bought a whole island, but he'd gone out to visit islands to buy with his girlfriend back in the 70s, and he wasn't as rich as he is now. But he'd heard that you can go out and look at them if you're going to buy one. So he pretended that he had the money to buy a whole island, and they were being flown out to go and look at them, and they finally saw one which was totally uninhabited, no services on it at all, and he really liked it. He got really excited, and they could see that, and so they told him the price of it, and I think it was like $3 million or something, and this was about 30 years ago, so probably relatively more now. And he didn't have the money, so they kind of guessed that he didn't have any money. And by the time they got back to their hotel, their bags had been packed by the real estate people, and they had to leave immediately.
Yeah.
But then what happened is that a year later, here comes a plane. About a year later, he got a phone call from them, and they said, well, the same island they desperately want to sell now. Oh, sorry. It's really loud.
Can't hear it anymore.
Okay, cool. So they said to him, it's for sale, and because they want to make a quick sale, they've massively reduced the price. It's £180,000.
From $3 million.
Yeah. And so he said he didn't have the money lying around. He didn't have £180,000. But he said yes instantly, and he was like, I'll just work it out afterwards. And he got the money. And now he has like this beautiful island in the Bahamas, all for him and his family, and whoever he brings there.
Do you know the name of it?
Necker Island.
Necker, yeah.
Spell that.
Yeah. Like a neck, and then ER.
Oh, Necker. Like somebody who likes kissing a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
A Necker.
Yeah, he had an interesting reality TV show, I think, in which he used the island. This was on, I think it maybe 4 or 5 years ago. You might be able to find it out there on Netflix or somewhere, but very interesting, very amazing show that he did. Yeah.
Was it an entrepreneurial thing? I'm sure it was a reality show.
Yes, it was. Yes, he had people that came and kind of competed for, I've forgotten exactly the objective, but maybe Google it and see, or Google him, and then you'll probably see a reference to that,
Yeah.
Cool.
And he did things like that numerous times. So yeah, he's a great example of that, actually. And did you guys like the how to get oodle out of your boodle? The name of
Use
the
your
book.
noodle to get the boodle. Yeah.
That's it. Isn't that hilarious?
Yeah, well, that changed his urgency about the title, didn't it?
Totally, it worked. And then him commanding his subconscious mind to give him a title.
Yeah.
He really
I love the way he
sounds like
called
really.
Sorry?
I said I loved the way he called his subconscious mind old sub when he was talking. He was like, old sub, give
Old stuff.
That's true.
That's pretty cool.
Like that. Come on.
Well, sometimes we have to get kind of strict with ourselves,
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like a quote from Homer Simpson where he has to do something really difficult and he goes, "Okay, brain, I hate you and you hate me, so let's get this over with."
Let's just do it.
Poor Sandy. You look tired. Why are you yawning?
Oh, well, because I got here late and I slept till just before we started, so I'm not really woken up yet.
Up late for a call.
Yeah, it was quite tiring to pack up the house and then move to another house and then move to a third house. It's okay though. Here now.
We're all very excited for you though. Portugal, wow.
Yeah, I can't wait. It's it dawned on me today. I was like, oh my god, I'm leaving France soon. I can't wait. Oh. Oh, well,
Well, it's amazing too, Sandy, how your circumstances did change, you know, and you know, I think you created that, you know, too.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Because I know that if I didn't do anything, I would just be, you know,
Yeah.
staying in France, or I would, yeah. It's I had to get excited about it though. I was telling a friend because at one point I thought about going to Italy,
Hmm.
and we actually had an interesting conversation. This friend has been trying to sell her house for a year, and it's just not selling. But she realized that she didn't really know what she would do next, like where she would go, and she wasn't excited about it. And we actually went to this beautiful part of the Riviera and looked at houses um, that are 2 minutes from the beach. And she almost bought one there a while back. And so she was like, "Oh my God, this would get me excited again to live here." And we just both knew that the house will sell now much quicker because she actually is very clear about what she wants to do instead.
Wow.
And it was like that with me for Portugal. I knew I needed to leave at this time, but I didn't know where to go. And I was thinking of going to Italy, but I couldn't really get excited. And nothing was happening. And it was once I chose Lisbon, and I was like, yeah, I can't wait to go. Everything just started to fall into place. So it's the excitement and enthusiasm we bring to things is really important.
Are you going to be in the capital? I thought you were going to be at the beach.
Yeah, no, we'll be at the beach. We're not going to. Initially, I was going to go to Lisbon, and then I realized I didn't want to live in a city, so we're going to a town just up the coast on the beach. Yes.
And the beaches in Portugal are a lot prettier than the beaches in the Mediterranean. Don't let
Yes.
everyone is fooled into believing that the Côte d'Azur and the beaches there are really nice. No, it's just a pile of rocks. So,
It's
and
true.
they import sand to make like
Yeah.
Cannes and Saint-Tropez beaches look nice.
Yeah.
Portugal, those
Exactly.
are real beaches. Yeah, the Atlantic
Yeah.
coast, gorgeous.
Well, Geraldine, you're a surfer. You'll have to come to where I am because it's a huge surfing town. It's called
Yeah,
Cascais. Yeah.
I've heard. Yeah, I've heard. My friends have been there surfing. They said it's great. Yeah,
Ah,
hmm.
I'm gonna
Nice.
I'd be interested to see how you get on a surfboard.
I
Hey,
have a feeling it will be hilarious.
everybody who's watching, party at Sandy's. Woohoo!
Beach
Get your
house.
tickets last week of August. It'll be nice.
Cool. Well, thank you, everyone. Thanks for coming out.
Yeah,
I'm
and
Corinne
enjoy
Tracy.
You're welcome. And
Everybody have a
Sandy,
great day.
Sandy, make my links go live.
Oh
And
yeah, I will.
I'm not
Yeah.
making anyone give me their email address in exchange for getting it, at least on our page. Other people
Oh.
they have to sign up. So I'm just giving it flat out to everyone.
Ah, okay, cool. I'll do
So
that now.
it's a Dropbox link, and as we go along, check back in because I'm just going to keep adding files to it. Right now it's preface, chapter 1, chapter 2, and ebooks.
Oh, cool.
Cool. Okay.
So
Thank you so much. Oh.
you're welcome. It's because I love all of you guys.
Paying it forward. Oh, cool. Well, thank you so much, and see everyone tomorrow.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Have a great
Cool. I'm
day.
gonna go approve those
Bye.
links. Bye.
Bye-bye.